Hello, and thanks for joining me today. This is Lance, and today we are going to do a simple landscape painting that anybody can do. Everyone who's never painted before. Okay? I've conditioned my canvas with some white, medium, and that'll just help blend color. It's a very thin white. Okay? We're going to start out. I'm going to grab a little bit of alizarin crimson and come right in here. Okay. Start putting that in there. Okay. This is going to be, give us a little color. Okay. And go right over it. I'm just going back and forth with the strokes here. Pretty easy. And we'll have some water in here. Okay, we'll put that in. And then I'm going to go grab, but I'm going to start at the top. I'm going to grab some, this blue. It says a Prussian blue. You can do whatever blue you want. And I'm just using a 1-inch brush. I'm going to start up top here on this one and work down. Okay? Just grab and paint. Kind of want to tap it into your brush so you don't get a bunch of lines. There. Okay. And you just kind of bring that down to the crimson. Okay. And where they meet, you'll have a violet, lavender color. Okay. I'm going to come down here and see what that maybe. I have some water in this thing, so we'll see. I don't know. I don't want it. Water, I can take it out. And then come in this way and down here, just kind of blend it into the. Oh, more. I've got my palette taped up so you can see what I'm doing today. Over here, same thing. A little thinner down here. I didn't get as much as that liquid. Wait, put that liquid color down here. That's okay. Okay. Alright. Now if you want to, we can come in and these corners are pretty dark though. If you darken your corners and up top a little bit, kind of draws the eye into the painting. These are dark already. I think I got a little of that black in there. That's okay. Yeah. Okay. And at the bottom. I don't know what we're going to have at the bottom. See, that's how you want to try to tap the canvas. But you can work it out. Canvas is wet. Not a big deal. Not a big deal. Okay. So there, we've kind of conditioned, what we're going to have for our sky and whatnot. So then we're going to come in and we're just going to blend all this with a bigger brush. This is a 2-inch brush. It's a big brush, but it works good for blending. And you can see how they will just soften right out now. See? Blend it all out. Back, and I'm just going back and forth. See? And crisscross strokes. I didn't put any yellow in this one. Beat that brush off a little bit and give it some paint on. I didn't put any yellow in this since today I think I want to keep this as simple as possible. Down here, let's go like this. We're probably going to have some water in some. I've done similar painting like this before, so I'm going to have some water in here. You can use any blue you want. You don't need to use Prussian blue. I just have it handy. Okay? A little colder blue, I think, than phthalo blue, but there. So there, we've got some sort of a background that we can use to get started. This kind of takes all the brush strokes out. There. That looks all right for starters. Okay, so the next thing we're going to do is I'm going to put some clouds in the sky. And today I'm going to do it with just I'm going to use a little fan brush, okay? And I've got some white over here, some white here, glow white. I'm going to put a little crimson in there, okay? Just load it on the brush. Pretty good, lots of paint on there. I'm going to probably use some white that's off camera too. And I think maybe we'll have the clouds coming this way. This is a simple way to do your clouds, okay? You take the brush, push, and just keep them moving. Dance the brush around. Just like that, okay? Have some more paint. Have some more paint, okay? Okay. Just let it move over here. There. Just like that, okay? You come in a little more here. Be right here. Just everything. Just have fun. Maybe a little bit goes over here. Okay. Down up a little. Okay. And we're going to come back in with the brush we kind of blended everything with. And knock the paint off of him. There. And then we just want to kind of come in here and just mix it up, soften it. Soften it. Isn't that easy when I do clouds? And it doesn't take long. There. You can spend a lot of time on clouds and work at those as you get better with them. You go like this and just kind of soften the bottom. Right? And then just go over it lightly. We got pretty thick paint on here, so you know that'll set the clouds back into the painting a little bit. There. So there, simple clouds just kind of hazing out up in the sky there. It'll work for you. They're very easy to do. Okay. Excuse me. Okay, today we're going to come in and we're going to do some mountains. Okay. Take some of this color. This is kind of a dark, pre-mixed color for mountains. It works good. So we're going to come in here and the clouds are coming this way. So let's say the mountain will be right here. Okay. And I'm just getting paint on the brush. I'm just going to do this. Okay, maybe there's one right over here. These are going to be easy mountains today because you're going to want to, we're going to highlight them and stuff. But it's not going to be hard. You know, this is a painting that you can do for the first time. And you just, you know, come in and all we're concerned about is these edges here. There. Kind of like that. Go down. Not super steep mountains, but there's your mountain. Okay. And if you want, you can do this. A little blurb right there. Get a little more of that. It's easier if you make sure when you're doing this that your mountains are not like these peaks a little different sizes, okay? Not the same. Maybe this one could go up even a little more, okay? Get him up and there. And he kind of comes down to the bottom. There, so you got some good peaks there. And I want to scrape a lot of this paint off because it does have a tendency to do that one. It's easier to put your highlights on if you scrape some of that off. Okay, I'm going to come in with this brush here and just kind of pull the color out. Okay, grab and pull. Kind of, this does a few things. It takes more paint off, obviously, but it's a good way to prepare for putting your highlights on. And you can kind of see how you want your mountains to go with this way. Okay, pull that over. There. Maybe we're going to go this way with him, and the ridge will go that way, and go from there. Really good. Kind of looks pretty good with the contrast on this will be good. It always is when you do that dark color in purple or pink or crimson. Okay, then we'll just kind of take this and wind it down. Okay, just kind of do this. soften it a little bit. There. So, okay. So the next thing we're going to do is some, we're going to put some highlights on the mountains. And I'm not going to go with pure white today because I don't want this to be wintry. So let's take and get some brown and white. How's that look? Pretty good. Maybe a little yellow ochre in there. Huh? This will give it some cool color. Crimson. I don't know, just a little more brown in there. And this should stand out really good. Okay? So, go in. I want to just get a little roll on the knife. Like that. And then we're going to start. Let's start with this guy here. Okay? And just put your knife on the top, touch, and let it break. Okay? Just kind of wiggle it. You want it to break. If it doesn't break, your mountain won't set back for you. Okay? Pull him down. Maybe he comes all the way down. There. All the way down. And there. Okay? And you can start wherever. Typically, it's better to start with the distant peak first. This little guy might have a little, coming down there. I'm just barely touching. Kind of, this takes practice. This is, this. If you push too hard, then it'll look like you're icing a cake. Really. Okay, let's grab some more of this on the brush. I want it standing up a little bit on there. Okay, and let's grab this guy. And just start like that. Bring it over. Get some more. Touch, wiggle, jiggle, whatever. Get up top here and just touch. The knife does a great job making mountains, but you got to get used to it because it can be difficult. Okay, so that looks not too bad. Are we gonna need some more color here? A little more crimson or a little brown, a little yellow ochre, a little white in there. And your colors can be different. They don't have to be the same. God, no. Mountain's got back up here and touch. Okay. And just kind of bring that down. Okay. You can wiggle it. Some more on there. Maybe he's going to come this way. This. There. A little more white in there. There. And maybe you want to come, watch this. You can go however you want. It doesn't have to be, and then maybe he comes there, whatever, just give it, and as you come more towards the bottom, you want to kind of flatten it out more, okay? So that maybe you can see that peak. Let's do this. I can see. Sometimes it just doesn't matter, but let's take and pull it down. And he kind of just goes that way. See? That looks pretty good. That little peak kind of goes over. Oh, that's in the background, okay? Not a bad idea. Then you can come in, get some more. Maybe you want him a little more ragged up here. See, the peak comes up a little more. There. So you've got a nice mountain. Really good contrast. And it looks kind of real, doesn't it? How about this little peak here? Let's take this part of the knife and just grab that and just come over here and just, maybe there's just a little color, little light shining through there from behind, okay? And that looks pretty good. I like that. I'm kind of not even thinking about putting much on the other side, but we'll see. Now let's go down here and see if we can bring this down. A little more there. There we go. There's your mountains. Okay? So those are easy, and those look pretty good. I don't know where they're at, but not too bad. That's kind of straight, isn't it? Should we? I don't know. Sometimes I don't like those straight ridges, but I think we're going to leave it today. I think it looks pretty cool. Let's take some blue, mix it with this brown a little bit, okay? Some white, a little more brown in there. There, we're going to put some of that in our shadow colors for a mountain, okay? Take my knife off, paper towel, and then over here, just just going to kind of come in and pull this way. You know, you got to come in and touch. Just get a little bit of that in there. Pull the knife this way. Just kind of get a little shadows in there. Now that's a ridge there, so we're not really going to get too much in there. Okay. You can come in this way and just kind of touch. Get some of that in there. That's dark back there, isn't it? Grab him, pull him down. Oh, that's going to go that way. Okay. So that gives you a little different color in there. Kind of some shadow looking colors. And you just mix blue and brown when you're doing these summer mountains. Watch how I push the knife up into there and pull it down. Okay? I hope you can see that. My head's not in the way. And just go opposite direction of the, you know, what you're doing. There. There you go. And some of them you can leave dark, like this little guy here. We'll put him in there. And just pull that down. And he connects over to there. There, you got a simple mountain. Very easy. Very, very easy to do. And if you want, you can come back in and add some little darker stuff in here and there. Okay, so things happening maybe. A little bit of that main color. Doesn't matter. A bit there, maybe. Just to give them a little more. Yeah, not to be a lot. Then you maybe put some in here. If you want to have something in there, you come in. Barely touch though. Okay, barely touch. I'm just gonna. There. So that gives a little more, some little things happening in there. However you want to do it. Okay. Let's go here. Next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to grab this big brush I used. And I want to soften the bottom, and you just take and pull. You can pull that out this way. You don't fall in the angles. Because usually it's misty at the bottom mountains. Just pull them out. Grab it, go through a ways. Don't make it level though, make the little areas different. Hey, it kind of disappears. Don't ruin all your mountain though. And over here, do the same thing, just kind of. Okay. There. So you've got a simple sky, a mountain, and a background. Or the sky, a cloud, and a nice looking, pretty cool looking mountain. It's like something in Glacier Park in the summer. And it's 18 minutes of painting. Okay? Pretty simple. Okay. So the next thing we're going to do is make some distant. Today I'm going to use this brush, and we're going to get some dark. I'm going to take some of this color that I had. I'm just going to make a distant hill. And I'm just going to come in and start tapping. Okay? On the brush. Just tapping. Get some more of this pre-mixed color. And it's just got like black and brown and crimson and blue and just a little bit of everything. And you can do, you know, getting your paints. You can go and get at the art stores. There. Okay? And there's just going to be a distant hill, mountain there. Okay? And we're going to close it in. I think I'll put some water in it, but over here, do the same thing. Okay? Just tapping. And I could thin this a little if I needed to, but sometimes it's better to wait and use paint thinner last. You know, and this is just going to give us a little. And I'm going to put some water in here. So we're going to kind of do that. Bring that down. This is easy. This is an easy thing that anybody can do. I'm telling you, you can do this. Look at that. Heck, somebody might want this on their desk or wall someday. Okay. There. I'm going to put a little more color in this than I usually do. There. There. And you want these to be a little good. I'll bring this side up a little. There. You can turn your brush around. I'm just tapping. You can use any brush for this, really. And try not to let it slide when you're doing this, but okay. So let's say we're gonna have some water, so let's just start pulling down. Okay, you want to pull straight down. Okay. This one's going to be farther down because you've got a bigger hill there. Pretty easy to do water when you're doing this, when this canvas is wet. Okay. Does that look like he's pretty? Pull him down. There. And you got that. Okay. And then what you want to do is come in. You can use this other brush again, clean brush, and go across. And then I'll kind of just soften it, make it look watery looking there. There. So there, now we got a little water in there. Simple, okay? You can do this. You can do this. Okay, so another thing that's kind of cool, say those are some distant trees that are there. Knock that off. You want them to look like little distant trees. Just take and pull up with this brush. Don't let them get too big though. Just little trees hanging out back there. And I'm just going and pulling up, barely touching, just grabbing like a 1/4 inch. Make little noises if you have to. And that kind of makes it look like trees. You can pull them up. That looks good. And then you can just do it, keep kind of layering all the way down to the, where our water is. Just little lines here and there. There. So there. Kind of looks like some distant trees back there and a mountain and this nice, let's say the light's coming from over here. The light can be from whatever, based on this it is, because that's the light side and the dark side. So light is on this side today. So not bad. Okay. I got some white over here. So I'm going to take some of this white I have. Actually, I'm going to put some more over there. Wipe that off. Put some white here on this guy. I want to save my room. And I'm just getting some white here off the screen. And I'm going to put some, I'm going to do some water lines. But first, better come in and maybe the first thing we'll do is grab some of this. A little burnt sienna. Okay. A little of that, and then maybe let's see, where's our water? Let's get some land in here, okay? Some land in here. Just kind of go along with the knife. Okay. I don't want it to be a lot of land, but there. Kind of pull it this way. So it kind of looks like it's, maybe a little bay in there. This is pretty dark, but we'll highlight it. I'm just doing some brown because dirt's usually brown. You can put ochre in there and stuff too if you want. See? Yellow ochre's a great color. Look at that. That's our highlight. You can highlight with yellow ochre. I'm not a big fan of white in my paintings. I just don't like it's opaque and it covers. And I'd like to try to lighten my paintings with a lighter color, yellows and stuff like that instead. But that looks pretty good. I didn't even know what it was. There. You get a mistake? You can fix it pretty easy with this method of painting. So there, that even looks like some land back there, and in some of these areas you can maybe pull maybe there's a little bit more up in there, and it's coming this way, whatever. There, so we'll go with that. There's some thick paint on here. That's all right though. That'll give it some character when it dries. Okay, so that looks good. I like that. Now, I'm going to take this white I have over here and mix a little paint there with it just to thin it. Okay. I'm just going to get this, and then we're going to put a little water line in here. Okay, and that'll just separate that just separates and I'm just running my blade through the paint, okay? It kind of gets on the top and be on the bottom. It doesn't matter. I'll show you what I'm doing here. I'm just going like this, or you can go like this. Doesn't matter. But if it's thin, and I put a little paint thinner on there, it'll, you know, try to keep these strokes level so your paint doesn't look like it's running off or your waters. See, just a little white. And if it gets too much, you can just, you know, just scrub it in. And you keep going, and it'll, like here, keep scrubbing. There. So you got a little water line there, so that kind of breaks that up a little bit. If you want some water in your, out here, little lines. I find it easier to go one direction on these. You know, as they get closer to you, just barely touching them. Okay, as you get out here, there. So you got a little bit of water, a little sheen looking thing there. So that kind of looks like a pretty good little area to get water. So it's simple. You got all that in there. It looks good. So next thing I'm going to do is I want to do a little, I want to lighten the bottom of these a little bit here. So I'm going to take this guy and pull up a little bit. Okay. I put a little, give me a little light in there. This brush is a little big for it, but that's okay. I just kind of do this because I think that'll help the next layer. It'll look better, you know. And this might just give it a little white in there, not much. Okay. And that'll be fine. And then I'll come back in with this guy that I pulled up with and just kind of want to give it some little things like there's little guys growing in there or whatever, because the next layer is going to be darker in there. That kind of makes it a little different, a little easier. So now we're going to take that same brush and we're going to come in and grab this guy. We've got all kinds of color from. Use this, more of this color. Maybe throw a little crimson in there, okay? And we're going to come in, and a lot of paint on there. And we're going to come in here. I'm going to do something here. All right. Let me get rid of that. Watch why. I'm going to come right in here and put in the foreground. Okay, more of the color. Dark. This is a dark, just that mix. Same thing we use for the back of the mountain. Okay? And we're just going to kind of push that down a little bit. And I think we're going to close this in. You know, I'm going to tell you the truth. I did one of these today, and I didn't have the volume on, and it turned out really good. And it's similar. So I had to redo it. What's that color? I don't know. I'll put some of that in there. So here, tap, and this is going to push everything back. And I didn't need to pull that stuff off like I did there. I could have left it. Okay. And see, I'm holding the canvas so it doesn't fall on the floor. That happened to me several times. There. So now you got that foreground that we can work with, and that's going to push stuff back when we get down to it. Okay. Okay. Now we're gonna have some fun. Same colors. Some blue. I want some blue and some color for that. But we're gonna come in and I'm gonna put some crimson. More crimson up here. Put some crimson right here. Okay, take some of that color we have. Take some of that pre-made. Oh, is that yeah? We're gonna mix all this right here. Okay. What that is might be a dark there. This is gonna be our tree color, our background tree color. Okay. You'll see this will look. Okay. I'm gonna load a lot of paint on the brush. I'm gonna thin it a little bit too. Okay. There. And we're going to kind of put, this is where we're going to figure out what we're going to do with our, I want this a little darker. I want to go up a little bit more. I was going to make a path, but let's see. It kind of just comes down there. And, you know, you can push up. I'll kind of come and do that a little bit here. But, okay. So, There we go. Here we go. Touch. Okay, there's our first tree. And we're just going to kind of come down. Where do we want it? Right there. And this is just the inside of the tree. Okay, now we're going to start using the fan brush. We're just going to touch. Okay, and as you get farther down, you just go back and forth, and you're just basically smashing your brush into the paint, into the canvas. There he is. Okay, you want to come back in here and detail him out. Make sure the middle of him gets, you like him to be airy, but sometimes then you can kind of just come back up. Maybe you want to do a little peak there. Come back in. You can work on him. Up here, barely touch. Okay, there you go. Pretty good looking tree. Okay, maybe you can go more over here. There. Okay, next one. You have a lot of paint on your brush when you're doing these trees, though. Okay, maybe there's one that's crooked here. Okay. And we're just going to come back and forth. Okay, a lot of paint. And he kind of just heads it down there. Okay, here you just want to barely touch. Okay, that middle. And then just kind of make your tree however you want him. There we go. He is crooked, isn't he? That's all right. Okay, get some more paint thinner. We're gonna probably need some more paint too. Okay, do another one right here. Yeah, and back in. A lot of paint on the brush. And sometimes the faster you go, the better they look, But come back up here and just touch the top. Kind of let the bristles bend. And these you can practice. They're not that, these aren't that hard. So there. Ooh, yeah. And then over here, ready? Do one there. It's going to be a lot here. And then we'll just kind of come down. There. So that's really pushing stuff back. And that's a good looking tree. He's going to come down here and there. And then up top, you can go back up here and you have some little things here and there and barely touch. You can get a smaller brush for the top too if you need to at some point in time, but that looks good. That's all you need. Trees grow funny. They don't always have. I don't want to kill the mountain today, so we're going to stay below him on this one. Okay? And we're just going to kind of come back and forth. Okay? Fast. Flip your brush over. Nice angle. See? There. Tree there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That ain't bad. I think we'll leave it at that because when you're doing, they say with, with nature, odd is better for your, I'm going to push up here, give it some grassy looking stuff, and down here we're just putting in dark. Okay, we'll come in and put some highlights in here and stuff, but we're just going to block in. We've already got a lot of color down here. Okay, there we go. So now it kind of pushes the water back. You got your trees in the front. Pretty effective, isn't it? One of those things you can do here, we'll take this little guy and just come in and push your tree up like that. Give him a little point. Scratching it in there. Sometimes you can get off a little bit, but who cares? Yeah. There, okay. And I think what we're going to do, we're going to come in and grab some like this sienna. Down here. I'll move that over here. There. Ooh, I like some little trunks here and there. Okay, it's dark, I know. This one might be bigger at the bottom. Just barely touching. A little on there. There. Can you see those? We can add a little white tone. Oh, I changed my mind. Let's use that yellow ochre again. I think we're kind of out of, but that might lighten up a little bit more. There. A little bit there. Not too much. Go over here. You know, just kind of go up. You can make some other stuff. Just really touch. So I might have a little bit there. There. You got your tree trunks. You can see them pretty good, actually. And we didn't have to use any white. I like that. Okay, so what else? I was thinking of doing, let's do this again. Earlier I did this. We're going to make a little path in here, okay? And I want it to be starting out small. He's going to come right from here. And just, I'm going to kind of let him just get bigger. I just grab whatever I can get. Okay. Just kind of come through, and I need some more of that burnt sienna. Will be nice because we're gonna probably need some more of that. There. Get some more of him. And that'll work. I'm gonna grab some more of that sienna. Where's that yellow ochre too? I think we might throw some more yellow ochre up there too. That seems to be doing good. There. And the stuff's pretty thick. You can see it sticks so that it doesn't ooze down. So you can tell it's not a super oily paint. There. Let's go back down here. And then just kind of... Ooh, there. Yeah, see that? Little trail coming out from behind there. You know? And he comes out. Just there. And he kind of comes this way. Yeah, you can block it up from the water, and you know you want to do that there. That looks pretty good. And we can come in, and you can use a little light in there eventually. Not much though, you know, it gets little highlights in there. Try this. And you can come in and highlight it a little bit. That looks pretty good, huh? A little bit on this. Not too much. Knives are good for a lot of paint on your palette. If you get a little knife there. There. So it's just kind of a nice little trail coming out from there. And that don't look too bad. Now, let's see here. We're going to have to come in and put some highlights on our trees. So I'm going to grab another fan brush to use for the highlights. I'll just use this one. And here should be fun. Let's get some paint there out. And we're going to take some green. I think there's some black there. There we go. And we don't need a ton of this highlight color. There, give more of that. I don't know what was in there. There, see that? That looks good. It's not super bright, and it's kind of earthy, but let's go over here and just kind of, you know, the light's coming from over here, so we can kind of just kind of put that in and, you know, cover up some of those. Cover up some of those. And you just think where the branches are protruding out. And here, a little bit over here on this guy. Start up here and get a little bit. Not much. I like it dark up top there when the horizon keeps the contrast better, doesn't it? There. Okay. And we're going to put some of this. This is dark. We can probably come back in and put a little more on there. You know, this little guy, give him some fun stuff. Sometimes you have to just snap to get the paint to come off because there's so much paint. This is all wet and it's all sticking on there pretty good, I think. So come up and do this guy. I think we're kind of losing our color, but that's all right. There. See him? think where the branches are. Darker at the bottom. Darker at the bottom. Okay, I'm going to use some of the same color. I'm just going to kind of come in here and make little the lay of the land. Okay, and we're going to have to put some highlights on these. And over here we'll pull up and stuff. You want to take this path and bury it. You know, it's got to set into the ground there. So that can be difficult sometimes, but and just kind of blotching in color. Try to tap right out to, you know, that. There. And that kind of sets the you know, that into the painting a little bit. Kind of push that in there. You know, the trail. Kind of get rid of some of that. There. Okay, good. So we looking good, I think. Next thing we're gonna have to do is probably come in and lighten these up a little bit more. So we are gonna need some more yellow. Just put that yellow right here. What else? Some yellow. Okay. And just for something to do today, I can find my orange. I got this new color here I bought. Should we try some of that? I don't know. We'll see. Give it a little orangey hue. I don't want that in the trees, though. Okay. Yeah, maybe it could be. Maybe they're springs here and whatever. I'm going to find me another fan brush. Here, this one's a little smaller, but this should work good here. We're going to use this guy. Okay. And we're going to have to come in and get some yellow on here. Maybe a little bit of that. Not much. Okay. A little of that green. Put a little orange in there. That's thin. I'm putting some paint thinner on here. This looks pretty good. Okay. See what I'm doing? I'm just mixing some paint thinner on there. Okay. And we're going to come down here. So we got some, you know, we got the light here. So let's see what happens when we just come in and start putting some of this in. This color in here. Okay. Just tapping it in. Okay. It's giving you a little light in there. I kind of like that, actually. A little green, a little white. Bring that over there. But you can see, I'm going to smack it in there sometimes, okay? You see where the light is coming in from the other side. Let it get darker and darker and darker. Oops. As it comes back over here, we can, you know, push up or down, you know, doing little things there. Let's try that. A lot of paint, you know, little things there. And I don't know if I like this brush as well as I thought I would. That's okay. Trying to keep it bright. And just push up here. Or down. There. Get some little grassy things in there. Maybe you want them to come up instead of, maybe the grass is long. Let's change it. Do it that way. I think that looks better. You know, a little bit there. Bring it all the way down to the trail here, and that'll help put the trail, set the trail in. Okay? There. So now you got that little trail. You got some light shining through. Maybe there's a little bit right here, you know. Maybe a little bit's coming in from over there. Not a lot. And darker towards the bottom there. There. And now over here, you might be able to get away with this. You know, get a little bit there. I'm just pushing up and just moving the brush around. Just getting color on there. So there, you've got a little trail coming through, a little darker underneath some of these spots here. And if you want, you know, heck, you can come in and add a little more highlight to the trees over here, right? And that's okay. You don't want a lot, but yeah. That'll give them a little more Make them stand out a little more, won't it? You know? A bit there. Keep him dark, you know, not too much. Over here. The little guy needs a little bit of highlight. Maybe just a little bit. Right down to there. Okay. Right there. This big guy. There. Just gives him a little more way to stand out, and it gives him a little more, I don't know, maybe a little more realistic. The lip there. Don't get too much. Don't get too much of that, because you'll start to lose your depth of your tree. 45 minutes. You can do this. If you're bored, won't be if you're painting anymore. So there. I think that will work. I think that's fine. Well, another thing we can do. Got a few minutes here. But what I like to do is I'll take my, like this guy. Grab some of this color, come in here and just, you can pull this way. Sometimes it works better that way. Just, you know, grassy things. See? Just kind of gives them, maybe there's some little cattails or something growing up here. I don't know. See how easy that is? Practice. You can do stuff, you know. You can labor on these with a little brush if you want, but I think that's easier to just use a palette knife. They actually never get any thicker than the blade, right? There. If you want some of these pulled down, I don't know. Maybe they go over the path a little bit here. See how easy that is? There. So we got a nice painting in 47 minutes. You can learn to paint in a short amount of time. So hopefully you enjoyed this video, and I learned some stuff. If you like, hit like. If you like, subscribe if you want to see more videos. And again, I appreciate you taking time to watch this with me today. Have a wonderful day. We'll see you when we see you.